Hi, and welcome to session 3 in our series where we're looking at life-giving households of faith. Really, we're asking, how can we have families and churches that bear good fruit? Let's talk about food today, shall we? Because food is at the heart of every family, every real connection that we have. I feel like we're just eating together. But food is not always the same, right? You can have food at a restaurant, or you could have food in a home-cooked meal. And I just want to talk a little bit about the difference between the two. You know, when you go to a restaurant, you expect things to be all done for you, right? You expect a certain level of service and of quality, and you go there and you can just critique the place because you're paying good money and you're expecting good service. But when I get invited to my mom's house and we bring our whole family together, we can't do that. We're an active part of the meal and the meal preparation and the fellowship. That's what it's like to be in a life-giving household of faith. You're active and personally involved. That means you're going to be helping to set the table. You're going to be bringing maybe some dishes along. You're more in it for the you're as much a part of the creation of that meal and the time together as a consumer of it. You know, we're doing 5 keys, right, to a household of faith, and this is the third one. It is to be active and personally involved. If we want to be a household that serves the Lord all together, we have to get ourselves involved. There is going to be effort involved in it. You know, Dallas Willard says this, that grace is not opposed to effort. It is opposed to earning. You see, effort is action, whereas earning is an attitude. You're trying to earn your right. We're not talking about faith that is driven just by works alone. We're not talking about earning your way into God's salvation. Absolutely not. You're already part of the family. But are you going to be a passive part of this family? Are you going to sit in the family and just want to be served like in a restaurant? The third key in this series is that you need to be an active part. You need to be active and personally involved. Jesus in John 13 tells a story, does an account of a very famous meal. It's his final meal. And Jesus, when he's eating with all of his disciples, he gets together and he says that he's reached the height of his ministry. And do you know what he does in this meal? Instead of just sitting down, being the boss of it all, he washes his disciples' feet. He gets down and he is active and personally involved, and he serves. Jesus is our example of what it's like to be active and personally involved. In fact, he could have saved us from a sign up in the sky. He could have written the gospel out from a distance in a galaxy far, far away. But Jesus instead decided to be personally involved. He came down incarnationally. That means in the flesh. He was God with us so that we would know that he loves us, so that we would know what it looks like. And the world needs to know what the household of faith looks like. So you need to be, if you're part of a household of faith, you need to be like our Master himself. And we need to be active, personally involved. We need to actually take part in the creation of a household of faith. Now, in order to do that, we need to be actually somewhat resilient. Because as soon as we get involved, these trees, these plants, they grow healthy. They're active and personally involved, obviously, in the production of fruit. But great trees produce good fruit when they overcome the obstacles like the rain and the wind and whatever else you have. If your faith is gonna dig deep, it needs to be a resilient faith. Our key verse is in Matthew 7:24-27, where Jesus tells this parable of building a house. Is it going to be able to withstand the rain and the wind? It only will if you become doers of the word and not just hearers. I hope you have a good discussion today. God bless.